Good afternoon. Today's what day 58. It is Monday the 26th. Work was of course not too bad. For a day that was supposed to be busy, it was pretty slow. Then again, people probably assumed that we were closed. But yeah, not too bad. I had one move out, couple unlocks, one sort of overlock. That's pretty much it for the day. Now, it was raining pretty hard when I left home, and it rained the next like 20 minutes when I got to work. Oh, officer! Oh, ooh, state trooper. Oh, right behind me. Ooh, hate to see it. Sorry, gotta just keep an eye on it. Just have an officer behind me. So. Okay. Let's put our blinkers up. Turning right. Here we go. And we turn right. Oh, he's turning right as well. Well, you know me. I follow the speed limit, right? So I'm just gonna go take nice and sweet. Just nice and sweet. There you go. Yeah, just pass me real quick. 61. Holy. Sped right past me. But yeah, it was raining. I get I mean, it's very cloudy still, but ever since that morning, it stopped raining. So I hit my 10,000 steps today again. So it's like I can potentially hit 10,000 steps each day. At least when I go to work. When I'm not at work, I can at least hit half of that at the gym. But at home I don't really move around very much. So that's the issue there I saw yesterday. But generally speaking, if I'm at the gym, or not gym, if I'm at work, like me just walking around the property is already a decent amount. And like for me, I just kind of I walk circles in the office, and I also went out to the property and like just walked up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and bam, yeah, 10,000 right there. So, and also turning right. Okay, okay, and gonna go get some groceries. Oh no, not the red light. Oh, am I gonna be there for a few minutes? Always gotta watch out if there's any officers in nearby. But yeah, not a bad day, not a bad day. Just been watching a bunch of self improvement videos, like some for sales. One I was watching right now was like to like create a business, and that's the thing. Like, man, I mean, that's the money maker right there. Because I mean, unless you have a high paying job and then just reinvest, I mean that's how you get out of it. That's how you get up ahead. Just have your own business, and then once I mean, obviously the hardest part is the beginning, right? And But to start out, at least start from like a online business. Then obviously, if like you start really growing, then yeah, you can build, buy a building or create a building, and then scale it from there, right? But obviously, I think if you're just running just solo dolo, you can only make so much by yourself. Obviously, some people, yeah, you can make a lot more, but once you build like a team and a company, then it's like, yeah, now you can scale upwards. But even solo dolo, I mean, making tens of thousands of dollars a month. I mean, really, I mean, depending on where you live, that's all you need to live a good life. Yeah, I mean, it at the end of the day, it is true. You're not gonna get out working 9 to 5. That's just not gonna happen. Like, even if you work overtime here and there, even if you got a second job, which if you think about it, yeah, a second job would put more money, but now your whole time, I mean, literally, it's wake up, go first job, then second job, or you get off your first job, then go to your second job, like overnight shift, so to speak, or graveyard shift, and then it's one of those things where depending on how your day is, what you want to do, sure, but it's not like the end all be all. Like that's like sure, yeah, doing that. I I would say yeah, doing that wouldn't be too bad. Just to make some extra income and using that for investment. But the main thing there is you want to start a business, really, because at that point, I mean, the amount of money you make in an hour or just in a day or even a week may be more than when you make a whole month at your current job. And it's like, yeah, like it just, you know, you got to take that risk. And that's why, that's why the guy I was watching, he was like, just create an online business because low cost, if you fail or make mistakes, well, you learn, right? And then you just, go from there. The one thing though, he was having like kind of like just a brief breakdown, like steps was you gotta be good on something. It doesn't have to be like just in general. It could be something very niche, and then finding those niche people out there that want your service, then you sell them that service. Obviously, from him, he was like, you want to start out free, and then if you got, if it works, then you can have testimonies, you have proof, and then from there, once you start scaling bigger, then you can start charging. And it makes sense. Like you have these people that come in and you do work for them for free, right? But the whole point of doing it for free is, well, first you get experience, and if it doesn't work out, hey, this was free, right? And if it does work out, well, you got references slash testimonies, like, hey, like this guy knows what he's doing, and like for there, it's like now you've scaled up. Hey, I got these testimonies, I got proof, and you got some experience under your belt doing this for the future clients. And I mean, really, like from what he was telling me, it was like, man, like him. Now this was like a decade ago how he started, but like, man, you just have a couple of clients, like 10, 20 clients. That's what you may all just that's what you just may all need to just make it for the year. Like consistent with these like 12-week programs, depending on what you're selling. But it's one of those things like, man, like that's money right there. Because I mean, like for me, right, what I make in a week, you two clients you spend several hours with, bam, double that amount. You got it for the 2 weeks, or maybe even the whole month, and it's like, and once you build a base, customer base, start growing ads, you know, at that point, you just make so much more revenue. I mean, you can honestly just quit your previous job. You can just quit your current job, retire wherever it may be, and you just all your whole day you just focus on that, you know, day in day out, and you just keep getting better, keep expanding, learning your lessons. Like, man, like that's the way. That's the end goal. Like that is where once you get to that point, you got it. Because as long as you don't go crazy with expenses and everything like that, and you're financially literate, I mean, you keep doing that for years. Shoot, I mean, yeah, bam, 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 and you create a whole business and have a team. You train the team, and it's like now it's like worldwide. I mean, you could start from worldwide either way. It's internet, but you know a bigger platform. And it's like, man, now it's like, I mean, you just keep growing at that point. Like, sure, there may be a cap to where, like, hey, like we're not getting as much customers as we get before. Depending on what you're doing, right? If it's like a niche thing, right? There's only so many people you can help. But honestly, like once you kind of get to that point, making millions, and you already got a team and everything, it's like, well, we can start just branching out now, really. Like, just offering this one service, we can expand on these other services now. And it's like, well, and it kind of just goes for domino effect at that point. It's like, man, the hardest part, which is, yeah, granted, it is a lot easier now these days with the internet and technology and just so many other people are doing it. It's like, man, just do what you want, buy what you want. Like I said, of course, you understand your financials and not just go crazy. Well, like, if you manage your money correctly, I mean, you got it. You got it in life. I mean, it just it's just one of the things. Like for myself, right? Where like a 9 to 5, at the end of the day, like I say, even if I were to make double what I make currently, in the grand scheme of things, that's nothing, and it's still kind of one of those things where it's like even 6 figures is enough. And of course, granted, depending on your lifestyle, right? But obviously, the more money you make, the grander of a lifestyle you want to live, right? That's just human nature. But the main thing, what he was discussed, one of the things that that our heart were targeted on was you got to be good at something to be able to solve these people's problems, right? Like let's say for me, you know, one of the things I struggle with is my migraines. If I had found a cure for migraines or a solution that works, obviously something like that, like a product, and I can sell that product, right? But if it's like coaching or consulting, right? Then you don't need a product. You're the product. Your advice, your steps, that's what gives the customer the solution to solve their problem. But the thing is, if you had that issue, you solve that issue by doing these certain steps, or list of steps, or follow these procedures or whatnot. You can make money off of that by helping other people. Now, for me, when I was heard about them, like, okay, now for me, it's like, what am I good at that can solve other people's problems? Like what? And like I said, that's more of just general speak. Or even if I wanted, like, okay, I can solve this niche problem. I had this problem that was niche. I solved it. That's something I could use to help other people make money. The issue is for me, it's like, okay, what is that thing, if any? It's like what talent, what skill that just particular to me sets me apart, and that's where it's like I don't know. Although deep down that is not true because we all have something different from everyone. We're not all carbon copies. We all have something different from one person to another. Even though there's billions of us, we're not exactly alike. There's something physically or mentally, spiritually that's different. The thing is, for me, I got to figure out what that thing is and go from there. If I wanted to go that route, but obviously for me, deep down, no, that's. I mean, for me to make money, a lot of money, that has to be the route. And thing is like, yeah, working a second job. I get off work, and even if it's like I work at home, I know there's like online stuff, work from home. That could be something, but that then again, that's only. It's just like for me, the home situation is like I don't. And all I was gonna pretty much say was excuses, really. But okay, let's say I didn't want to work from home. Let's say I wanted to get out, afterward go somewhere. Like, but for me, it was one of those things where I have to get more skills. Realistically, what I have now is enough. So that's why I was like, if I get a second job, I'll obtain new skills from this other job. Even if it's, yeah, I'm only gonna, I may, like for me, it's just, you know, I usually stay long term. If I, get there, obtain some skills I don't like or enjoy it, well, I can leave, right? But a whole bunch of mud right there. But now it's like, okay, I got some skills from this job. Um, and that's where it's like, maybe it's just kind of finding like a part time job that would be like, after hours, really. That's the thing. It's like if there was a job I would like to work, it'd be closed by the time I get off work, right? Unless they're like a graveyard shift or something like that. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching, keep educating myself, keep reading. Eventually, something in my brain will click. You know, we take action, right? That's the big thing. I remember that was one of the persons that was watching. If you don't, you can learn all this, hear about all this, read all about this. But if you do nothing with it, it was pointless. It's true, you know. But hard thing. Title. Mm, I remember, that was something I said earlier that I like. Of course, I could probably go through it, but um, gotta get out of the trench. One, no, well, it's not true. There's not one. There's not only one way to get out of the trench, but uh, just just gotta keep learning. There you go. Tell that for today's video. Just gotta keep learning. Gonna call here till tomorrow. So take care. See you.